Poor dumb fool. He was hoisted by his own petard. The dim-witted ghoul walked right into his own booby trap. Now look at him. The entire left side of his body has been destroyed. Well, I guess he's all right now. Booby Traps Gone Wrong gets deep fat fried.
Deep fat fried.
Oh yeah, booby traps.
Yeah, this is not a good example. I mean, this is a good example of a booby trap, but these booby traps all went right, man.
Yeah, they did. But you know, everyone always makes fun of the Home Alone. Oh, real criminals would have killed this kid. You know what? This kid would have killed himself trying to set these fucking traps up. Is the real truth?
Yeah.
Burglars are coming to my house. I could call the police, but
Kevin
instead,
McAllister was an engineering genius. TJ, you just don't want to acknowledge that.
I think that wasn't there like a fan theory that he grew up to be Jigsaw or something.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
I don't think the timelines match up, but you know.
You know, there's a thing in that movie. I know the episode's not about that, where it's like, if you ever wonder why they don't notice Kevin's missing, it's because when they spill like the milk or whatever, the Coke on the pizza, like over the table on the pizza, they throw his ticket away. Did you know that, TJ?
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, there's a lot of little subtle stuff like that. You know, there's like they did a lot of we accidentally threw away his ticket. Oh, we did blah blah because they had to like they kind of over explained it because like
the dumbass kid gets in the van when they're trying to leave. Where you guys going?
And then he gets counted like, oh yeah, Kevin's here, everybody's here. So booby traps. What is a booby trap? A booby trap is a device or a setup intended to kill, harm, or surprise a human being or animal. So it's triggered by the presence or action of the victim, and sometimes has some form of bait designed to lure the victim towards it. The trap may be set upon trespassers who enter a restricted area. It can be triggered when the victim performs an action, i.e. opening a door, picking something up, or switching a light switch on. Pretty much every one of these stories today is of a dumb old redneck or hillbilly. Almost all of them don't have photos for obvious reasons. And, also, I always find it so funny that these people who are so gung-ho to protect their fucking property, a lot of them just like don't even have shit you'd ever want to like I drive around. I mean, I live in fucking Louisiana because I'm a fucking stupid piece of shit. So I drive around and I see these motherfuckers with their like nasty looking fucking piss colored discolored nasty fucking trailers, yards full of trash. Look like fucking shit. Just look like fucking garbage. Look like I'd rather fucking kill myself than walk a mile in the motherfucker's shoes.
And you know those trailers smell like piss, right?
Yeah, and then like if I got like 50 fucking animals in there, or like some crack, or well, I don't know. There's all kinds of fucking weird shit going on. But like on the front of the building is like private property, keep out. Like anyone's fucking desperate to get in your fucking nasty hovel and take your fucking your piss bucket or whatever the fuck is in there. No, I don't want it. So this is a story about motherfuckers like that sign ain't enough. My gun ain't enough.
Dude, I can tell you as a stoner.
Up some damn booby traps, huh?
As a stoner, and I probably speak for all of us in saying this, there's no fucking way I'd ever do this. Because even if I wanted to do it, I would set it off and kill myself. I already know that. I'd be like, oh man, pizza bagel just sound good.
This is you remember that you remember in True Detective when they raid that fucking farm, the fat guy like goes running off and gets blown up by one of his own booby traps?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I love that scene.
That whole show was great. Well, the whole first season.
Well, the first season.
What's the best booby trap ever? Like, what's the best booby trap movie?
Booby trap movie. I
don't
know.
Predator, dude.
No, Home Alone is better than Predator.
Come here. Come get me.
Well, Predator's like the more
the
realism.
double trap, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
If only Joe Pesci had been in Predator, that would.
Oh my god, that'd been great.
Replace Arnold with Joe Pesci. That's what I say. So anyway, the first case we're gonna look at is Julius Jackson of Texas. You got this little SpongeBob. This is one of the few SpongeBob jokes I ever fucking like because I also hate Texas. SpongeBob is taking the form of Texas. Hey, Patrick, what am I? Stupid? No, I'm Texas. What's the difference? There isn't one.
I still love your the Texas shirt you got from what was a T-shirt? How
oh yeah,
don't mess with Texas. It's not nice to pick on retards. And all these guys come to teach you like, yeah, what the hell?
I wonder whatever happened to that shirt. I guess it just got.
I mean, you just moved or you just left it somewhere.
In November of 1986, several police officers were responding to a shooting at a home in Houston, Texas. Outside, they found the homeowner, Julius Jackson, bleeding from a gunshot wound to his left leg. Jackson told the officers not to go into his home. As the officers later found out, the home was booby-trapped, and Jackson himself was a victim of one of the traps, which he had set himself. Apparently, burglars frequently raided his home. In fact, he was robbed 10 times within 5 years. This made him set up a few shotguns and fire at the knee of whoever triggered it. Jackson was transported to a hospital where he was reported to be in critical condition. A police bomb squad later arrived to disarm the remaining guns. While police did not provide information about the number of booby traps in his home, his ex-wife said he had told her he had a shotgun in every room of the house. So there you go.
Damn.
Dude. Move. I'm sorry, move.
Yeah, so here's a story about it. This is the original 1986 article with quotes from Julius. I don't know if he ever lost his leg or not, but he said he had a 50-50 chance of losing the leg. A shotgun blast hit the inside of Jackson's lower leg, nearly destroying his knee, damaging his veins and arteries. Doctors said they plan a bone implant from Jackson's hip to replace his knee. I had the stuff up for about a year, Jackson said of numerous booby traps. He said he was shot last Thursday afternoon when he came into his house after working on his roof, preoccupied with thoughts of fixing his roof and having to leave soon for work at his night job. Jackson said he knew he had made a mistake even before he heard the shot. Normally, I turn on the light and unhook the booby trap. I just forgot about it. Police carefully dismantled the traps around the house after the shooting, but despite their illegality, Jackson said he would reinstall them when he returns from the hospital. What?
Damn.
What?
You know what, TJ? You gotta respect that, man. He fucking blew his own knee away.
I don't respect that.
You gotta, TJ, because you know what? Some people are so dumb. Yeah, you actually should, TJ. Some people are so dumb, dude, they double down. Next time, he's just switch to his head, though. He's like, you know what? I didn't go hardcore enough. The burglar might have been able to limp away. I'll blast the head off. Just
now that I've done set off my own trap, I see that this is not a sufficient deterrent. Next time you're gonna be destroyed by 50 shotguns. Just gonna every door you open in my house, 20 shotguns blow you into fucking kibble, you know?
Dude, I'm going to turn my whole house into one giant shotgun, and I'm going to live down in the barrel, and anybody who walks in that barrel, the whole fucking house fires at them.
Such traps are illegal in Texas, but prosecutors have said they do not plan to file charges against him. I figured this was a consideration, Jackson said, of his gunshot wound, but he said he got fed up because burglars broke into his home at least 6 times during the last 10 years, frequently to steal his guns. I like to hunt. I like to fish. I like a nice shotgun, he said, adding that every time he built up a good collection, then the burglars came.
It's someone he knew for sure, number one.
Yeah, this is one of your buddies, dude.
Yeah, you look, that shotgun collection look real good there, buddy.
Not only that,
stick it off your hands.
One of these dudes that you probably boasted to about, like, man, burglars ain't gonna get in no more. Got all these booby traps in there now. Now they know your house is booby trap. They're just gonna fucking go in. Disable the booby traps and take your shit still.
Has this guy heard of a fucking gun safe?
Yeah, how about that? How about instead of fucking an elaborate system
safe.
Of traps, you just put your guns in a fucking safe? Yeah.
Fucking bolt it to the foundation of your fucking house. Problem solved. If
get
they want to go into a safe, go ahead.
Get a guard dog. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, there's a million more practical solutions than a fucking convoluted series of fucking elaborate booby traps.
Yeah, storing your gun somewhere safe where no one knows about it. Like, there's a million fucking things you could do.
So here's a lawyer going to explain to us about what kind of booby traps we allowed to do.
Chief Attorney.
We don't need to see all the intro, but let's take a look at some of the booby traps you're allowed to do in Texas and which ones you ain't.
Some booby traps are illegal. One of the most memorable cases that I read about in law school was about a homeowner who had a problem with trespassers. So what he did is rigged a shotgun tied to a string that would automatically fire at knee height whenever one of the trespassers would open the door. This is commonly known as a spring gun. Well, he got in trouble for that, but that is not the type of booby trap that we're talking about today. When I say booby trap, you might imagine some sort of Wile E. Coyote style contraption. What we're talking about today, though, isn't some sort of...
Should have just like... They needed some kind of different music for this. You know, like this is not necessarily the music you need for this guy.
Yeah, you need like the Mission Impossible music if you're going to sell booby traps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Deep pit filled with alligators, or even a bear trap hidden under a dinner plate.
What your booby trap can and can't do.
Your booby trap can't be designed to cause or known by you to create a substantial risk of causing death or serious bodily injury.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit, dude. TJ,
what happened to pussy ass booby traps are you talking about here?
What about a pit of spikes, a fucking moat, you know, some fucking alligators patrolling the moat, you know, a really high wall, you know, there needs to be fucking danger. Like, I don't get this, like, booby traps can't hurt somebody. Then there's no point. They should just be outlawed.
The minute that you set foot on my property, you fall into a fucking pit of snakes and spikes and fucking poison.
And you die immediately.
And you die.
Totally. Also, use of the booby trap must be reasonable under all of the circumstances as you believe them to be when you install it. I'm not going to give you opinions on what kinds of booby traps would or would not qualify here, but I imagine that it's something that would be more of an annoying deterrent rather than an actual trap. Do not trap people. In fact, in Dallas, there's actually an ordinance that outlines the use of tear gas on someone as a booby trap for breaking into a vending machine. I swear I found it this morning. I'm not making this up. I found that this morning while doing research. If your booby trap constitutes the use of force on anyone, then you must take great care and consideration before deploying it.
Only in Texas would there need to be a guide to fucking what you're allowed to do as far as booby traps go. So you think about putting some booby traps in your house, huh?
Here's a 15-page manual.
Well, what about guns? So here's what you're going to do with that. You know, here's what's allowed, here's what's not allowed.
It sounds like there's more regulations on booby traps in Texas than guns.
Yeah.
So just let that fucking marinate in your brain.
Because the use of force requires that you reasonably believe that force is immediately necessary. If your booby trap uses force on someone that it wasn't reasonable to use force on, for example, if a child wanders onto your property and trips your booby trap, then you will probably have your own crime to answer for. Under Texas law, you can use your booby trap device to protect both land and tangible movable property. However, you can't set up booby traps to protect just any property. You must be in lawful possession of it. Additionally, Texas...
So you can't set up booby traps, you know, in somebody else's yard. That's good to know, Texas.
It's good to know. It's really good to know.
It's always protect. I guess there's some a caveat to that, but there's always with the fucking law. What's this?
Edwin Smith of North Carolina. All right.
Don't insult squirrels, TJ. That's a mistake.
You know, this squirrel is just reacting to this story. I told him, and this is his reaction. So.
All right, fair enough.
So in October of 2018, 68-year-old Edwin Cleve called 911 after a booby trap went off in his hometown in Cleveland County, North Carolina. He told the dispatcher, "I just blew my arm off," before explaining how a booby trap shotgun he set inside his home fired and injured him in the arm. Smith was feeding squirrels through his back door at the time of the shooting. He was saved from bleeding to death after a man suspected to be a Cleveland County Sheriff's deputy used a tourniquet to cover his wounds. The dispatcher heard Smith tell the officer, "Fucking squirrels did me in, buddy."
I mean, they almost.
So I called him Edwin Cleve at some point. I think maybe like there was like a Cleveland had been transposed in his last name. His name is Edwin Smith, just to fucking make that clear.
Dude, Edwin Smith. I think he threatened those squirrels, dude. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to feed you anymore. And they're like, all right.
So I know that Paul loves 911 calls.
I do.
So this is we're not going to listen to this whole thing because it's very long, but we'll listen to the beginning of this of Edwin Smith's call to 911 after shooting his arm off.
Cleveland County 911. Send an ambulance over to 124. I just blew my arm off. 124 was.
So.
Please hurry. I'm going to die. Okay, well, how did this happen, sir? I have a tripwire, and I opened up the door, and with the tripwire went off and blew my arm off. I'm going to die. I'm in the driveway. I'm going to die. Just tell everybody I love them, okay?
I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
I'm going to die. Tell everybody I love them. Tell them I love them. Everybody. Everybody on Earth. Love them all. All of them. Blew my arm off. I'm fucked. Squirrel done did me in.
Sir, we got help on the way. Is there anything you can control the bleeding with? No, I'm out here in the driveway. My arm's blowed off. I'm shot anyway. I'm done in my life anyway. Get closer, Phil.
This guy's very accepting. He's like, I'm done in my life anyway. You know,
I've lived a good life. I'm fucking out. You know, I'm dead.
Yeah, I just blew my fucking arm off, guy. I mean, I'm good. I'm good. I'm done.
I mean, yeah, he's taking it well. I mean, it's some bad news, but he's taking like a fucking champ. I mean, he blew his own arm off, but you know, at the end of the day,
I love him. Yeah, I lived a good life. I mean,
it doesn't look like he did.
Circumstances surrounding my death might lead you to believe otherwise, but you know,
look, I made it into a double wide. That was my life's goal. I made it. I'm good.
You know, a man who fucking blows his own arm off feeding squirrels because he set up a dumb booby trap really seems like, you know.
Well, he protected that property there. Look, he was protecting it.
The Collyer brothers, Scotty. You remember these guys?
Yeah, I remember them. You're covering them again.
Yeah. Cover them again because, you know, they kind of fall into the same, you know, sometimes topics overlap. This is one of them.
Yeah, this is definitely one. These guys are fucking idiots.
Crazy fucking idiots. The Collyer brothers lived in Harlem, New York. The older Homer was blind and bedridden, while the younger, called Langley, was his caregiver. The brothers lived alone, spending their time alone, and refused to interact with anyone. The only company they had was the many booby traps and the 120 tons of trash inside their home. The men lived a life rather public life in the years preceding Homer's blindness. However, they became reclusive and treated their home after Homer went blind. Langley boarded up the windows and only left the house at night to buy food and collect random items he found along the way. He stored those items in the house until it was no different from a landfill. Basically, you know, they filled their house with fucking trash. They were major hoarders.
Oh, yeah. Serious hoarders.
So, you know, and you can actually learn more about them in greater detail in our Hoarders episode. So Langley set many booby traps in the house to keep curious neighbors and people moving into the area out. He also fed Homer with 100 oranges a week, hoping it would restore his sight, you know, because that's how you cure blindness, right? He had so much faith in
100 oranges a day keeps the blindness away, you know?
Exactly. He had so much faith in Homer regaining his sight that he even saved every newspaper he found so Homer would be able to read them when he could finally see again. However, that never happened as Langley was crushed to death after a booby trap tunnel collapsed on him while he was taking dinner to Homer. The blind and hungry Homer later starved to death. So yeah, he literally had tunnels through his own house to get through his house because he's like, you know, there's so much junk in it that they had to build little tunnels and shit.
Well, people would try to break into their house too.
Right.
It was like the mysterious recluse house. Like, what's in there?
So there was a ton of junk in this house, and he was crushed under the junk. And he tried to go feed his blind brother his 100 oranges or whatever the fuck. And you know, he just he was
coming,
crushed.
Mortimer. I've got 100 oranges. Oh no!
His brother fucking died. Good old Homer. So this is the police taking junk out of their house. Police found out about their death on March 1947 when someone called to complain about the stench of a decomposing body from the home. Police found Homer's body, but Langley was missing, raising suspicion that he had fled. A manhunt began, but turned up nothing. Police later found his half-decomposed body in the tunnel, 10 feet from where Homer had died. So
no close yet so far.
Yep.
Wow.
Dead.
Yeah, they actually have a memorial plaque for these guys too, because they were actually pretty well off.
They should make a movie about this, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a very uplifting story of the human will to survive. You know,
you make an A24 movie. Like have A24 make a movie about this. Make it all dark and dank and dingy and depressing with a horrible ending.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, what you couldn't really do a happy ending. I mean, they both
police
die.
come in there like, where are they at?
I mean,
Who do you think got the? I think
how
Homer got the worst deal in that. You know, being like, you get to
yeah.
starve to death in bed, blind and fucking.
I mean, that
unsure
does
what's going
suck,
on.
but seeing as how they were living, maybe them both dying was the happy ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's a metaphor for all of humanity, right? So these guys at least had something to fucking protect, right? So this is Daniel R. Ricketts of New York, okay? In 2013, 50-year-old Daniel R. Ricketts was decapitated when he drove his quad bike into an almost invisible piano wire tied to 2 marijuana plants on an illegal marijuana farm in Albany County, New York. Piano wires may appear harmless, but they're extremely sharp and strong. Add the fact that Ricketts was probably speeding at the time of the accident, and you have a deadly weapon in your hands, basically as sharp as a fucking sword. Took his head clean off his fucking body. This is not his actual head or anything. This is from a cheesy horror movie, so don't fucking complain to me.
Well, the guy looks like he's been buried.
Yeah. Ironically, Ricketts owned the illegal marijuana farm and installed the piano wires to protect his stash from opportunists, like-minded criminals, and maybe law enforcement officers. The thing was supposed to cut off their heads. However, he became the victim when he rode into it. The wire caught his neck, throwing him off his bike and almost separating his head from the rest of his body. So he was nearly decapitated or partially decapitated. He died at the scene. Police said he was drunk at the time. Police also found several leg traps and barbed wires around the farm. So I guess he was too drunk to remember that he had set this trap, and he just ended up chopping his own fucking head off like a dipshit.
Man, that's a beautiful way to go, man.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. I feel for all these guys, man. They're all a little crazy, and they all go out doing what they love, you know what I mean? Being drunk, feeding their blind brother, you know what I mean?
And they just, they lived life on their own terms. It's like, think about this. The kind of person that sets booby traps is the kind of person that, when they just blown their arm off, they say to themselves, you know what? I've lived a full life. I've lived a good life. I'm good.
I'm dead. I'm here.
I'm going to die. It's fine.
I'm dead. My arm's blowed off.
Very accepting.
Well, you know what, TJ? They didn't get his pot plants, did they? Oh, shit, they did. They got all of them. Oh, this Leatherface, dude.
Dude, Leatherface is a good dancer. You ever notice?
He is. I mean, like, it really looks like ballet, so it's kind of beautiful. So in 2015, 67-year-old. By the way, do you notice all these guys are kind of like skew a little older?
Yeah.
Like, there's not too many like 22-year-olds being killed by their own booby traps.
Yeah.
It seems to be like old men.
I have noticed that I've gone as I've gotten out of my 30s and into my 40s, I've gotten a little crazier. You know what I mean? So I think maybe in some dudes, it's really like pronounced crazier.
Yeah, they just get like way crazier with each. Oh shit, I'm way crazier now. So in 2015, 67-year-old Ernest Gaylord Mickelberger was cut in half by a chainsaw inside his home in Savannah, Georgia. Ooh. The scene looked like a murder straight out of a horror movie, except it was not. Instead, Michelberg had fallen victim to a booby trap he had set inside his own home. According to his son, Gunnar, his father had booby-trapped his home with 2 chainsaws and a few guns over concerns that the minorities moving in to the area may try burgling him. However, that did not happen before the older Michelberger mistakenly triggered one of the chainsaws, which cut him in 2 along the waist. Oh, no.
Fuck.
What a tragic loss for humanity, man. Them minorities moved in. Let me go ahead and Darwin Award myself.
Dude, I can't even imagine. Like, that's such a.
I don't even know what kind. I want to see what this fucking trap looked like, and it must have been an old ass chainsaw because modern chainsaws are not that great at cutting human flesh. Like they have fail safes built in to kind of like get stuck. So I mean, it's like pretty crazy. On September 17th, 2017. Firefighters from Tubac Fire Department responded to an explosion in an unoccupied home in Amado, Arizona. Inside, they found an unarmed man who they evacuated to a local hospital for treatment. Investigations revealed the man was the owner of the building and was building a pipe bomb with a friend at the time of the explosion. Investigators determined both men were building the bomb to protect the property. The police did not know who they were protecting it from and why. However, they know the bomb went off prematurely severely injuring the man's chest and knee. So here is the news story about this incident.
Joining us tonight, an investigation is underway into an explosion in Amato near Arivaca. According to ATF, the blast...
I did boost this, but I think I need to boost it a little more. Boop. Let's just go to 460 because,
came from a booby trap pipe bomb that inadvertently blew up.
Officials say 2 people were in the...
This is literally hoist by their own petard right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's what that means. Blown up with your own bomb, basically. These guys, let's build a bomb. You're dead.
building. News 4 Tucson's Alex Dote was at the site of the explosion. It's new at 10.
The Santa Cruz County Sheriff tells me that the explosion happened right here, just off I-19 and the Arivaca Road exit. An ATF official says 2 men were working in a shop storage structure here when the explosion happened. Authorities found fragments from a galvanized pipe bomb. A pressure switch was also found. ATF says the men created a booby trap destructive device to protect his property, and it inadvertently detonated. The blast.
Okay. Think about the stupidity of a person who's like, need to protect my property. I'll build a destructive bomb. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot how are you defending your property with a fucking bomb?
Why are these people so obsessed with their
a
property?
Bomb explodes and destroys things. That's what it does.
Look at this building. Yeah, I mean, would some people? Is there a possibility someone might break into this business? Like, sure, but isn't that already insured anyways? Like, just have insurance.
What's more? Well, there went Scotty.
Bye, Scotty.
Scotty vamoosed.
You gone. Come back, Scotty. Come on back now.
I'm gonna say anything else, dude. Discord just freaking vetoed me. I was like, here's my commentary, and it's like, no.
Discord's like, nah.
What's more expensive, Scotty? Month-to-month fucking business insurance or a pipe bomb made at home?
Month-to-month business insurance for sure.
There you go.
Well, let me ask you this,
dollars
though.
and cents.
What's more expensive? Getting blown up by a pipe bomb or month-to-month business insurance?
I've got good news. I just saved you thousands of dollars a month by switching to pipe bomb.
Yeah, right.
Blast sent shrapnel flying, and one of the men was injured. He was treated at Green Valley Hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The other man is a multi-convicted felon. ATF will not comment on his past charges, and both the men's names are being
if I'm having somebody help me build a pipe bomb, I am gonna go for the multi-convicted felon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
How many felonies have you had? Several. That's good. That's promising.
I mean, just one, but
Any bomb making skills to speak of? Not a lick. Oh, well, you're hired.
I know all about pipe bombs. Check it out. What you do is, I don't know. I don't know how to build a pipe bomb. Hey, it's like this guy kind of looks a little bit like me. That's kind of creepy, but all right. So sometime in 2018, several residents in a neighborhood of Tomball, Texas, seeing a lot of southern states appearing on this list. I don't know. It's very weird.
That's just a strange coincidence.
Called 911 after hearing gunshots from a home in the area. Residents suspected the shooter had barricaded himself inside his house. So deputies from the Harris County Sheriff's Office arrived to find a 73-year-old man, another old guy, outside the house with several wounds to the right side of his stomach. The unnamed man, who also owned the home, told officers there's danger in the home. A deputy attempted to enter the home, but quickly retreated after hearing a gunshot from inside. SWAT officers later arrived to confront the barricaded shooter, but found none. Apparently, the supposed shooter was a booby-trapped explosive set off by the elderly homeowner. The explosive included some small metal fragments and shotgun shells that exploded when triggered. A spokesperson for the sheriff's department said the man had set the explosives to prevent burglars.
Quite a bizarre twist in this case. Here's a live look at the scene unfolding behind us. We're in the Tomball area off of 99 and Tomball Parkway, and the sheriff said they've discovered more than a dozen.
I know. Look how many of them are there. Like every fucking slab of bacon in town has got to show up to this, man. You guys ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah, they got little commands, and they got one of those little like tarp things you buy at like a sporting goods store. They probably got their cooler out there. Like
let's roll out the mobile command center and let's get some barbecue together and some cold beers. Get every cop in the fucking county over here on this, okay? We're just gonna have a little fucking reunion.
Dozen explosive devices in this man's home. They say the homeowner
seems like you need one tactical unit to go in there and fucking look at this dude. Look at this nerd.
Your tax dollars at work.
I'm here protecting you.
Let them here on a bomb, man. I'm gonna get them bombs. Gonna lift them out with my muscles and throw them in the ocean.
Why am I in camouflage in the middle of a fucking suburban neighborhood? Just because,
Where'd you go?
man.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, I don't
Did you
know.
guys see that? That guy just disappeared.
Well, that's.
wait, no.
He was always there. He just turned, and like appeared as like the predator,
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, the that's effective camo right
at
there.
every entrance and nearly every window. So we've learned that he may now face criminal charges for booby trapping his own home.
Dude, you got like this is a dude that skips leg day. I can just fucking tell.
Yeah, he does kind of have chicken legs.
Because he's all like, raw, but you can tell because he has no ass. Because he's like his chest, but then he turns around and it's like frumpy, flat butt. Give me a break, dude. Do some fucking do some leg presses or something, man.
Investigators
do
say
some squats.
It is illegal in the state of Texas to rig up the inside of your home like this man did, and of course,
he's got a frumpy diaper butt. Fucking sucks.
One of their own deputies, they say, could have been injured or worse after that deputy tried to make entry into the home.
Still in better shape than me.
Here's what they say happened.
No.
Skip leg day.
I love leg day.
Dude, leg day is my favorite day. 5 days a week, leg day, bro.
And you know what? That's the episode. Perfect fucking 30-minute runtime. I mean, 31, a little over, but not much. Fuck you all. Goodbye.
That's what?
That's Booby Traps blew up in their own fucking faces. Fucking haha. They're all dead.
One more thing.
They're all dead. They're not all dead, but
What's one more?
Say it.
What? Who are you talking to?
What?
Hey, I think I'm gonna take a drink, TJ. Oh shit! A booby trap!
Oh, he's dead.